This week on Media Delta, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 1990 live-action movie. You know, it probably wouldn't be less horrifying if you couldn't see into the actors' mouths. I guess they can eat double pizza? Hello and welcome to a new episode of Media Delta. This was originally planned to be the second part of talking about season 1 of the 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. The thing I forgot about that, though, is that season is 5 episodes long. So we covered it in one episode, which left one episode open, which means that I had to think of something, and I decided to keep with the Turtles theme, and decided to just watch the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, which is quite different than the TV show. Yeah, I don't want to say interesting experience. It is certainly a thing you can see with your eyeballs. Yeah, I think we probably could have a much larger discussion about that, which is also why I was not the only one who watched it. So please introduce the people. Please introduce yourselves, the people that I had watched the movie. Words.
Hi, I'm X, and I love being a turtle.
Hi, I'm Carnival, and rest in peace, Jim Henson.
I'm Portable Stove, and yes, I do know what a crumpet is.
I'm Torpid-Typist, and I'm here to corrupt the youths via video games and hip-hop and skateboarding.
Yeah.
You made them play Narc, you monster.
Yeah, they made
It
them play
was
Narc.
hilarious. They got to the end.
Yeah, they were fighting, I forgot what the last boss of that game is. But also there was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinet in the background of that scene. It pissed me off.
We don't talk about the meta shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Nonetheless, this movie, I forgot who I need to probably, let me actually bring up the thing that I should have had beforehand. Yeah, I believe Steve Barron was the director of this, who also did things like, say, Coneheads and The Adventures of Pinocchio, and Mike Bassett, England manager.
An illustrious career.
Yes.
That is the Jonathan Taylor Thomas Pinocchio, the one that looks incredibly creepy, right?
Judging by this photo, yes, it is.
All right, sounds
with
good.
Martin Landau and Rob Schneider. And Bibi Newirth also. But nonetheless.
How to make a movie sound like garbage in just 2 words. Rob Schneider.
Yeah. So, I think we're just going to go into the questions this time because I don't really have a good preamble for this. It's a movie that came out and it's based on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Although this is way after the cartoon aired, obviously. And as I mentioned earlier, after some of the video games also came out. So this was a little bit into Turtles Mania, I guess.
It's only 3 years, and the Turtle show ran for 10, so
yeah, but it started in 1987, so it's 3 seasons then. But yes.
Fair.
So yeah, let's go ahead and start with our questions. So X, what was your general impression? Is there any particular element you'd like to bring up?
Well, this is awkward because based on the conversation we had before recording, I'm the only one who enjoyed watching this fucking movie.
Incorrect! So am I!
Okay, good, thank you. Because, goddamn, I enjoyed it. It was fun when I was a kid, and I think it still stands up today. I didn't even know they were puppets. I thought they were just people in suits, which just makes it even better for me. It's not perfect. It's got some flaws here and there. You know, the whole gang hideout just being, hey, let's play some video games. Oh, this is so as Torpid mentioned, twisting the minds of kids and stuff. There's some really silly stuff in it, but it's a comic book movie. It's gonna be silly. It's got that same problem that I think Batman did, where it's comic book silly. and it doesn't always work out in its favor. But at the same time, like the puppeteering is fantastic. The fight scenes are fun. The dialogue for most of the movie is snappy and interesting. I would like to drop kick Casey Jones into a pit forever.
He sucks so much.
And he reminds me of some jerk off that I used to know, so that makes me hate him even more. But overall, it's a good movie. It's fun to watch, and I'm glad I sat down and watched it again. That's what I've got to say.
Is there any particular part of it?
Yeah. How about that time Casey Jones fucking murdered a guy? Just straight
Oh
up
yeah,
fucking
Oops.
murdered him. Oops, he's dead. Let's
Yeah,
just
he's
carry
super
on.
dead.
Yeah.
Casey
Except-
Jones fucking sucks, man.
Casey Jones kills children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I
It's
wanted to
important
bring.
to remember that the Foot Clan in this are children.
Yeah. He just beats
Yeah.
the shit out of kids and murders a dude in a garbage truck. Whoops.
which he knows not a whole lot about the Shredder at that point, but yeah.
Straight up, oh, hey, something fell in the truck. I'm just going to kill it.
Oh no, Michelangelo. Ugh.
That's what I wanted to bring.
All right, Carnival.
See, it's more of like, I guess part of my problem with this is that from being, I guess part of the issue is like when I saw the original season 1, the '80s show, is like I was surprised how good it was. So this is kind of the inverse reaction of just me coming back to this, seeing this for probably another time. Is just like, oh, I felt my biggest issue with this movie was the pacing, because I love the puppets. I mean, sure, they're just weird to look at, but this is what, if you saw human-sized turtles that could flip around like that, that would be weird to look at. But I think part of this is just, while it's a comic book movie, my problem with it is it doesn't lean enough into the dumb comic bookness that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles gets to. Because there's a lot more dumbness that I think even the sequel movie, not the third one, is a bit more just fun and leads into that dumbness a bit more than this one does. Is kind of my issue with it, aside from the pacing, which is just it feels like it longer than it is, and even then it's still too long.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, because there was times when we were watching, when I was watching it, and it was like, God, how long has this movie been on? Because it just seems like it's longer than it is. Like in a weird, just like with the amount, I think it's like the density of the stuff that's happening. It just how fast it goes. Like makes it seem like more has happened than actually has. And at least that's how I kind of saw it.
Yeah, it's definitely the density of it, I think, is the problem.
So, is that it for you?
Yep, for this question at least.
All right, Stove.
So I'll admit this movie does have its fair share of problems. Casey Jones, for one, we're gonna just talk shit about Casey Jones probably in the next question a lot, I'm guessing. But all that said, I definitely still like this movie a lot. It's weird because I don't have any actual nostalgia for it. I probably saw this for the first time when I was 17. But for all intents and purposes, I do see Carnival's point that it doesn't really lean into being a silly, wacky thing, as much as it could, where there's a lot of scenes that are kind of a lot more dour. But I guess also there is an aspect of the Turtles that's meant to be darker than the cartoon was. I don't know. I was thinking of actually reading the comic before this, but time is fake. But yeah, no, I generally enjoyed it. I thought honestly, the stuff that was done in the turtle suits in terms of moving around and fighting, it's not great, but for what it is, it's it's pretty good. And in terms of any element that I would like to bring up, hey, 90s filmmakers, your movie does not need a romantic subplot in any form or fashion, especially one that got to nowhere and honestly is just kind of creepy and gross. So don't do that.
Casey
Yeah.
Jones, just a giant pile of grease
Yeah,
moving around.
why is Casey Jones allowed to get laid in any universe?
No,
I-
but he's usually not. He's usually not the sleazeball that he is in this movie.
Yeah, but he still always kind of sucks.
Yes, but usually it's like more of just the. It's funny. This guy is taking a bunch of sports equipment to try and fight aliens, and not just this guy's a sleazebag.
Yeah, why? It's great because it's like, why does he need just sports equipment? Like, he is completely pointless unless he has some sort of sporting equipment with him.
Because he's a
That's the
sports
joke.
nerd. Honestly, I would say that like a character like Casey Jones, who really cares? He probably could have been in the sequel, and then that would have just been all right. But I just don't like him, and I don't like that. He has to be there to be a human man for April to decide to kiss at the end of the movie. She can't kiss a turtle on the head like in the game. That's gross. Nobody wants that, apparently.
Look, we refuse to explore the concept of eternal fetus.
I
all
just
I
think
got.
those puppets probably just weren't like super sanitary to be all for real.
Probably not sanitary, and I don't think they were quite that.
Yeah, yeah. They also they live in a sewer, so they probably stank.
They can shower.
They don't probably though.
In the
They
sewer.
probably don't.
Donatello got his head dunked in a fish tank. Does that help?
Yeah, that counts. It's clean.
I guess.
No, it's full of fish shit and piss.
I mean, he's probably used to he lives in a sewer.
Damn.
Damn!
Damn!
Yeah, that might be the thing that I bring up, but let's point out why the thing that also this reminded me of it is the Shadow the Hedgehog swearing in this movie. Is it just seems like in the way like it doesn't need to be there. Like I'm not saying it in a form of they shouldn't have had it, period, but it just seemed really like forced.
Just
All Raph ever said was damn. It was his only lines in the entire movie.
Other than him being kind of a jerk off.
He also
Let
says
Raph-
bitchin' at the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let Raph say fuck.
I liked
Cowards.
when Mikey said damn, like Ninja kick the damn rabbit, or just like quietly under his breath going damn when he loses at rock, paper, scissors. That's fine. But like Raph going, oh damn, man. Yelling it to
Raph-
the sky.
Raph was a huge fucking tool.
always would-
I will get to Raphael in the next yet
Yeah.
again, I will focus on Raphael in the next question.
Yeah, we're gonna just kind of rip into all of them because they
Yeah.
kind of sucked in this movie, but
Well, we'll probably get a little bit more into that. So, is that what you had to say, Stove?
Yeah.
All right, Torpo.
okay. So I found this movie really boring. Actually, I'm gonna be upfront about it. A lot of shit happens, but none of it feels quite meaningful, and things just kind of go along. Like I'm not sure how to put it. It's just I never felt like anything felt like impactful or meaningful. Also, they just really like trashing their sets. It seemed like.
Yeah, they
Really
definitely
liked
did
it.
that quite a few times.
It's fine. Also, the whole reveal of Shredder in his sweet sequined crop top and all that was fucking magical.
Yeah, the Shredder costuming could possibly have used a little more work.
He was head to toe in sequins, but also on top of his outfit, he had this like kind of red sequined crop top. It was special. Like I
It's
think
very
it's supposed to be like chainmail, but it just looked like it was sequins.
Yeah, they
But-
can't like pull the Bennett from Commando.
But yeah, I'll try getting too into the characters, but I didn't really feel any of the characters that compelling. They were either just one note or no notes, really. And it is just also the entire plot, which is the Shredder's corrupting the youths to get them to join the Foot Clan to be his soldiers, and also he's really angry about his nemesis rat. He's really angry about that rat.
Yeah, because it scarred his face.
Yeah,
Scratched him.
Yeah, it scratched him once. It scratched him real good too. Like, damn, Splinter, you don't fuck around.
You don't mess
But
with
yeah.
Kung Fu Rat.
No, I just found it kind of really bland.
Anything specific to call out?
So there were two things I wanted to call out actually. One of which is probably going to be a bit faster. It's a bit more complicated though. Is the way he was corrupting the youths was very questionable and could raise some questions that are very uncomfortable. Because the way he was corrupting the youths was video games, skateboarding, hip hop, cigarettes, and also dancing
Also gambling.
and gambling. So it's like some of those genuine problems. Others are hip hop, and it oh god, it raises some questions about what they thought.
What?
Is the answer to that?
To be fair, the like main kid that is, oh, I don't know if I should be doing this, is wearing a like Sex Pistol shirt. Though I guess being that he's the one that's like on the fence about this whole thing, he's wearing a Sid Vicious shirt the entire time.
And he's a
I
lily
guess-
white boy.
Yeah, I guess that kind of proves the point.
Yeah.
God, it's like a 90s version of the Pleasure Island from Pinocchio. It's like
Yeah.
that level of like those damn kids. Why they got to be on that phone?
Essentially.
Going out there stealing stuff, eating Whoppers. How dare them?
In Hot Whopper
Whoppers.
and life.
That's the other thing. Is also very much like, oh, those damn youths, because like young people were stealing shit all over the place, and it was a huge problem. Just because they wanted to join the Foot Clan, who, in general, was treating them better than their own parents were. You know, aside from the whole stealing thing.
Yeah, I mean, also like there's that thing that's like, oh, what? Like, why do we do it? Because we're family. I'm like, oh, okay.
Unfortunately, Shredder said, I am your father now. Oh, I guess luckily he said, I am your father now.
I'm the daddy now.
God damn.
God, everyone take the counter back to 0.
You can't stop me from saying daddy. Wait, shit.
Actually, I can. Moving on.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was the violence. Ah, the violence.
Oh yeah.
Well, Guardians
Because this is an important thing to bring up actually. Because so first off, they made extensive use of their weapons in this movie, and I specify that because they don't in the other movies. So they definitely tried to integrate the weapons into all their choreography, and I do feel like that helps make it a bit better. It's also interesting seeing the puppets move like that anyway. But there were a lot of complaints from adults and whatnot about the violence of the movie. So later movies actually don't really use the weapons at all because of these complaints. So this is really the only one where you'll see that happen. I felt that worth mentioning because it's actually a really interesting detail.
Yeah, it'll be something that will become more apparent when
Don't make promises you can't keep.
yeah, if for some reason we ever want to see Vanilla Ice in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles property.
Go ninja, go ninja, go.
Also, the problem is that I'm trying to look up to see the thing about that for on Wikipedia, and I came across something that I've never heard of, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole while we're doing
Oh,
this. Something called Mutant Turtles Chojin Densetsuhen.
oh god, no! Please no. Let's
Not
not
yet,
touch
that
that.
series.
Uh,
God, just run away. Just run away.
yeah. All
Look it
right.
up.
All I'm saying is their song goes da na 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 na, and my song goes da na 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 na. Can't you tell the difference?
I love an octave.
No, it was da-na-na-na-na.
Ah, you're right.
That was the difference. Was the
I
at
know,
the end.
and he thought he could get away with it. It's the worst. But regardless,
Yeah.
my point I didn't really care for the movie, but there are some interesting things about it, and I do think the puppetry was actually very well.
Okay. Yeah, my general thoughts on it were kind of, like, I didn't think it was bad, but also, yeah, it is the kind of same thing that I had with Batman. It's okay that happened, but I'm not a huge superhero fan, so it's like this didn't like connect with. It wasn't something that like hooked me in, I guess, because it's like it's it's the it's the thing of like it's the live action movie of some that's based on something else, and those always have there's like a it's it's the like it had the scene that a lot of these things had where the like characters from another like the quote unquote outsider character always like has to come in and live in like a normal person, like the quote unquote normal person house, like it's like its own formula, I guess, in a kind of a roundabout way of saying it. It's like it just feels like it's that kind of same story that we've kind of seen. um and there wasn't really anything that really hooked me in. Like the thing we'll probably talk about is that the turtles didn't feel like they had a whole lot of personality outside of like Raphael and maybe Leonardo,
Yeah, I was
because
gonna say to the point where they couldn't tell what to do with Donatello and Michelangelo.
you could probably you could have swapped the two and I probably wouldn't have noticed. Which they in essence basically both Donatello and Michelangelo act the same. They like Donatello is just Michelangelo too, essentially. Um and yeah, like just some of the things, like I am not a huge Turtles fan. Um and I'm kind of seeing this from an outsider, but it's just none of the like it just kind of seemed weird. But yeah, that's kind of what I thought. And if there's anything that I want to call out, it's just like by before we did this and season one of the cartoon, my experience of April O'Neil is through the games, which meant generally nothing. Uh, and I have a very confused view on what exactly she's supposed to be.
A reporter.
A reporter is what people know her as, but she's more like a scientist. And a lot of the other, like more of the comic books, she's a scientist. But for whatever reason, the '80s cartoon, but she's the reporter, and that's just usually what they go with a lot of times, except for the two newest television shows. 2003, she's a scientist, but 2003 is basically like if you want to see the original Lard and East comic books animated, you would go watch the 2003 show. So there you go.
Yeah.
It
Um,
the resident fan.
yes. So, I guess that will bring us to our next question, which is since Torp had to stop out real quick. Stove, one sec. What were your general thoughts on the characterization of the characters in this rendition?
So you kind of did touch on it a little bit in that they really don't have anything from Michelangelo or Donatello, which is kind of like, as somebody who has grown up like knowing of the cartoon Michelangelo and the cartoon Donatello and all that, it's very weird to me. Just like you couldn't find anything for Michelangelo to do. Like of all characters, Michelangelo is the one that you're just kind of stumped on. But I mean, I guess he had the whole thing about he's like the main one that just is very into pizza, which okay, that's fine. And yeah,
I mean, I am also into pizza, and that is my one defining personality trait.
that is true. Yes. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I guess I don't know.
Carnival can attest to this.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, Donatello just had nothing. Leonardo had the very like boring, I have to be the leader, and that means rough decisions, and am I really cut out for this, which is boring as hell. For the first time in the franchise, they put all of their eggs into the Raphael basket, and man, it kind of
Why?
does, kind of doesn't. Who knows?
Man, remember how he was weirdly into April?
Yeah, just a bit. But
Or
what I'm
was that Michelangelo that was?
Well,
That was
Michelangelo was openly into her, but Raphael was sort of like subtly in the background into her.
Oh, okay.
yeah, and yeah, I don't know why they just like decided, hey, Raphael is the turtle that we want to devote the most time to. We need to explore his anger and nothing else about anybody else. Like Splinter gives him the like heartfelt speech about what to do up until the like weird bonfire scene. And then yeah, April O'Neil is basically just there. It's not really much to her. Shredder is cool, but also is nothing. His like heavy Tatsu is probably like more of a villain than he is in this movie. And fucking Casey Jones just sucks. That's pretty much it. But yeah, I just thought it was weird that like we have this very angry, grimdark Raphael as opposed to the like can't stop making really bad jokes Raphael from the cartoons. It's a very weird dissonance.
See, that's because the way Raphael's portrayed in this movie is the way Raphael always gets in every other version. He gets the I'm angry treatment in every other version. It's just that the '80s show takes a file to that because it was the '80s, I guess.
And he's become angry enough to be the leader now in the year 2020. So good work, Raphael, I guess.
Yay!
Yay.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right. Let's go back to Torpo.
Yay me. Yeah, fuck the turtles. They sucked in this.
Okay.
No, they were like they were all super one note, but like even then they just felt kind of toned down and a bit bland. Like the puppetry was good, but that's about it. Honestly, like Leonardo once again, yeah, had the struggle of like, am I a good leader, but doesn't really go that much into that and doesn't even really do anything with it anyway. Raph is just angry, says damn a lot, really says damn a lot. Which I mean, I'm not one to fucking talk, but uh,
Damn.
it's yeah. But I don't know. He's once again very one note. It's like they didn't really explore the turtles at all, in my opinion. Like they just kind of were there for the most part. And as we mentioned before, Donatello and Michelangelo were completely. You could just swap the two of them out and be just not even notice. They were basically a Beavis and Butthead duo the whole time, cracking jokes, and it was whatever. It was whatever. April O'Neil, I don't even remember, so I'm not even gonna go there. I don't even remember her existing. She was barely there.
She made a joke that made them uncomfortable for a second.
Yeah, that's true. She did do that. She also was constantly having her boss and his kid come to her apartment, which was weird.
I think it was he kept on coming.
Yeah, no,
over.
he kept stopping by, but also with his kid who stole her cash.
I thought he stole his cash that his dad left in his coat pocket.
No, it
No.
was hers. I was confused too. At first, I thought it was her kid, and then it's like, wait, so he's also the dad? So wait, is that like it's very confusing the way they present that.
Her boss who's there, I guess he exists to just shit on her constantly. And then Casey, who shouldn't exist and is a whole fucking creep the entire time. Yet still somehow April falls for him because plot. We need a romance and can't talk about turtle dick.
Casey Jones shows up as a complete asshole. April sighs and says, I can't not fuck him.
Exactly. My god, he's irresistible.
So I went and looked up because I wanted to know something because it's like, oh, you'd imagine that like some of the characters that like appeared, like I was not familiar with Tatsu. And I found out something that's actually kind of interesting, which is the fact that if Turtlepedia is to be believed, Tatsu did not appear in the comics, unless Carnival's going to chime in and tell me I'm wrong.
Usually, one of the lieutenants change between different continuities, but usually, if it's a lieutenant, there's another set of gang called the Purple Dragons that that Shredder goes around and just hires the guy who ends up using the name Hun as his main enforcer until he inevitably either gets betrayed, offed, or any number of things.
Okay. Because I am looking at the character specific called Tatsu, appears in actually this might be okay. So Tatsu is originally for this movie, apparently. like that character. The way that they have it listed on this website is kind of weird because they have Tatsu 1987 video games. But apparently he actually shows up in Hyperstone Heist, which was actually we've not ranked that on Retro and Grapsy, but essentially what Hyperstone Heist is a combination. It was for the Genesis, which was a combination of Turtles in Time and the original Brawler arcade game that kind of got combined into one game. And Tatsu is a unique boss to that game, and he looks like he does in the movie. So, also, do you know that Christopher Columbus has a page on Turtlepedia?
Yeah, I
Guys,
believe it.
That doesn't surprise me.
Okay, nonetheless.
you have to understand this entire franchise gets really dumb in places. Remember the empire of Triceratops aliens that exist.
All right. Okay, I guess whoever was talking can still go.
Yeah, hi. How you
How's
doing?
it going, Torpo? What's going
I
on?
stopped talking a while ago, actually. No, one other thing I will say is the Shredder barely exists.
At least he's not whiny in this thing.
He's not whiny. Instead, he's just vaguely menacing, but also doesn't appear until about 2/3 of the way through the movie, and then just menaces the turtles briefly before getting killed in a fucking trash
Oops.
garbage truck. Yeah. And once again, I feel mentioning like he's wearing like this full sequin outfit, and then over that he has like this red sequin crop top, and I don't know why.
I maybe he's trying to pull like a more fashionable version of Bennett from Commando.
Maybe. But yeah, so that's my opinion.
All right, Carnival.
So, like previously mentioned, the characterization is like it's boring. They do the thing that Raphael always gets is the extra time when, especially for movie adaptations, because oh boy, he's angry. Angry means we can do conflict. Why would we do anything else other than the same thing that's done every time we make one of these new origin movies? And then Casey Jones is awful in this movie. Usually he's at least fun to have around because it's just this goofy person just yeah, he's using a cricket bat to fight weird ninjas. Sure, let's go with that. But it's like, no, it's not even fun. It's just, okay, you're a creep. You're there. You were about to brutally murder some kids. What the fuck, dude? So, yeah, that's about it. April O'Neil, she didn't really get damseled, which I guess is a good thing, but, or at least, like, other than, like, that initial incident, but otherwise, like, may as well not exist.
Okay. You good? Okay, Axe.
So I mean, it's kind of hard to not, it's hard to disagree. You know, the characterization of the characters in this is not very good. I mean, Mike and Tello aren't given enough. Like, I think Mike definitely has the party personality, and they try what little they do to show that. Donatello comes off as like Michelangelo light. He doesn't come off as like I remember Donatello being like the smart one of the group, and they do nothing for that with the character.
There are no machines that have been done.
Right. There's he's not tinkering with anything. He's not creating anything. He's not fixing any. He doesn't even fix the damn car. Casey Jones fixes the car.
Yeah,
And
as I said, it's just they have a Beavis and Butthead dynamic going on the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, like and him and Casey Jones like pairing up made even less sense than Casey Jones pairing up with April. It's just bizarre. And that whole section, I know it's kind of breaking off of the question a bit, but that whole like them retreating to the shack section could have been taken out of the movie entirely, and the movie would have been better for it. But
I mean,
That
it
being-
wasn't even a shack; it was like a large house that was just a bit of a fixer-upper.
yeah, I mean it's the house section just could have gone away. It was
It was terrible.
pointless. It killed the pacing of the movie entirely.
What
But
pacing?
well, I mean, the movie had some pacing to it until it hits that point, and then it falls apart and just slows to a crawl. But
Look,
as
they
far
had
as
to trash April's apartment by lighting it on fire and letting a bunch of children die in there.
oh yeah, and then and then you've got Leonardo, who just sort of is the leader, but only in one scene is he seen as the leader, and then that's kind of it. And everything just seems to kind of serve as fodder for Raphael. And Raphael is like we said, he's just angry. That's his defining feature is he's angry, and he's very boring. And it's just it's a little difficult to like any of the turtles because we're not really given much to work with, other than them all kind of being interchangeable during fight scenes. That being said, I think we are also all in very much agreement that Casey Jones fucking sucks. He
Absolute terrible. Oh,
would have been great if he wasn't in this movie at all.
he did nothing. He did nothing except for kill Shredder.
Killed
He-
Shredder and showed up in the apartment fight, and that was
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. It's a miserable character. It's just a giant walking ball of grease. Just gross. And
There's no
Ugh.
bigger douchebag around, and they're in the middle of New York.
and again, he reminds me of a guy I once knew who looked and sounded almost exactly like Casey Jones. Ugh. Ugh, it's gross. So fuck that character. Shredder's not very imposing or intimidating as a villain. He's very much in the shadows for a lot of the movie, and then when he comes back out, he's in that. And his outfit's glorious. It's silly, it's stupid, but it's a glorious, beautiful sequined outfit that I don't know. I liked it. I liked it for how stupid it was. Danny was annoying. Danny as a character was just super annoying, and then I was about to say April, Rachel O'Neal.
This is
April.
about how memorable she was, really.
Well, the thing is, I remember her as being a reporter, and at very least in the movie, she does reporting, unlike in the television series. She actually gets the scoop many times.
The scoop.
And she does go toe to toe with the police chief and make him look like a fool. So I mean, she has to get some points for that.
Which gets her fired, yeah.
Yeah, but still, she goes toe to toe with him and makes him look like a dumbass. It's perfect. Hold on.
I literally thought that at some point the police chief was going to say "bust my balls" instead of "bust my chops."
Busting my balls, O'Neal. You're busting my balls. But
And that would have been more true, more realistic, but
what if?
No,
Who else? Who else was in
Like-
this movie?
Um,
Her boss was just there to kind of drive side plots around. That was about it. He didn't really do much himself. Danny's was just stupid. I mentioned him already, but I mentioned him again because he just annoyed the hell out of me. His character
he was
sucked.
so annoying.
His character sucked.
Sex Pistols.
They weren't even a proper punk band. They were manufactured. Get over them. But yeah, that's kind of what I thought about the characters.
yeah. My general takeaway was I felt like even I could tell that the characterization is weak. Me, who does not know a whole lot, other than pick Donatello because he has the best range. Outside of that, yeah, it's just that none of the characters were particularly good in this movie, which kind of was a bummer because I felt like if the Turtles were given more of their personalities and Raphael wasn't such a shit, that it probably would have been a better movie. But yeah, Casey Jones sucked. Shredder was there. April O'Neil was also there. Splinter was good. Splinter was okay. He was the one that really reminded me that it was a Jim Henson movie because he has that feeling of like a Jim Henson puppet the most, other than like
Yeah.
the Turtles who were just kind of creepy.
Yeah, and once again, there's a reason, like, I also thought they were just, like, people in suits when I originally watched this.
They have that energy of Chuck E. Cheese animatronics, at least to me. Like there is a off-puttingness about them that is
See, I watched a lot of Power Rangers as a kid, so seeing people in goofy, awful outfits was like the norm.
Allow
This
me
is how-
to interject here for a second. I do want to point out that yes, for the most part, they are puppets, but there are scenes where they are played by people in suits, and you can tell that very clearly if you watch this movie in HD, as you peer into the mouth of a turtle and see a human mouth instead.
Oh no!
okay. I'm gonna have to go through and see if I can find that.
Oh
Because
no!
I need to find a thumbnail for this movie, and I think I just
Oh,
found it.
oh Jesus!
That's the worst. Why would you do this?
Thank you, Soph. This is perfect.
You
It's just what
son
this
of a
movie
bitch.
deserves.
This is so fucking.
I've only been
cursed.
striking gold when it comes to these thumbnails. I'm not going to stop now.
All right. So yes, that's my general thought of the characters. So speaking of that, Axe, what you think of the look of the movie?
I mean, it's New York. It's grimy. It's dingy. It sucks. No, New York's actually an all right, nice place. They hyper focused on some of the less appealing, savory, appealing parts of New York to kind of create this oppressive atmosphere, and for the most part, it works. I mean,
Except when they go outside the city, which is still weird.
yeah, it didn't really work super well, but it's trying very hard to be gritty without being outright R-rated, which you could tell that maybe at one point in production they were going to aim for an R rating and be more in line with the original comic, which was hyper violent. And I guess that's it feels at some point they turned a corner and just like, let's try to be a little more family friendly, and so they sort of met in the middle with this semi-violent but still sort of kind of like, I can't think of the words, but it definitely feels like they changed gears during production. But overall, I mean, still enjoyed it despite it being just in New York and also some countryside, nondescript countryside. It looks exactly as what they were going for. Is the way I could tie this up.
Okay. Okay. Carnival.
I have to say, I kind of like the look of the way they portrayed New York, especially again, it's like I like the whole idea that the turtles would cause a massive freak out in New York is laughable because it's like it's New York. You don't cause shit, you don't start shit, you won't be any shit. So
That's the weird shit happens all the time. Who gives a fuck?
yeah, but it really was I think the best that sells that of just when Casey and Raph first meet up, he's like, "Oh, you're just in a suit, whatever. Why are you stopping me from beating up these children?" And it's like that's the reaction most people would have. Well, probably today, most of you will be like, "Oh, this is really cool," but at this point, it'd be just like, "Yeah, I thought that was neat," but otherwise, it's New York. Woohoo! Yeah.
Okay. Stove.
I fucking hate punkers, man. Yeah, honestly, like I kind of do dig the look of the movie. Honestly, for it being an indie movie, which yes, this is technically an indie movie, it looks really fucking good. Kind of as said before, the puppetry and the animatronics, and sometimes the guys in suits, that it looks pretty decent. Sometimes it doesn't.
Also, I want to interject with one thing because I happen to give me 1 second to provide something for the class.
Is it
I'm
the
I'm
thing
sorry,
that
looking at the rubber sword that Stove posted. Holy shit!
Might I give you the still
Please, I need the still.
you
there's
can-
another frame.
where you
You
can
give me-
clearly see that person's mouth
I can
inside of
clearly see your
Leonardo?
malware bites.
Yes, it keeps on popping up something every 5 minutes.
Please, I need a zoomed in shot of the face, which obviously you'll have to use for the thumbnail, but I think Stoves is better because it's more pronounced and the lighting's a bit better.
Yes, but still.
Yes, that's horrifying when you notice it.
Ha,
Teenage
vor.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mutant for sure. Jesus Christ.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Vortals.
God damn it!
You're fired.
I was
Stop
never
tape, I'm
hired to
going
begin
home.
with.
You're fired. Go
Okay.
home.
All right. Just to get this a little bit back on track. God damn it.
You brought us down this path, Stove.
You're right. I did. That's correct.
The rubber sword is so good.
This is your fucking fault.
He just gets
Oh.
it stuck on everything.
It looks good. Some of the
You can't escape. It's too beautiful.
some of the sets are pretty interesting, although, like as stated before, what the fuck is with the Foot Clan's hideout? Just straight up arcade machines, cigars, pool, whoppers,
No
narc.
cigarettes.
No cigarettes. Oh, there were cigarettes.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah, it was cigarettes. Also, we haven't even mentioned the sweetest part of it. Their sweet ass skate rink. That they
Yeah,
had.
they have-
I mentioned the skateboarding. Yeah, they have a suspended like skateboarding bit.
Fucking half pipe up there. It's
God, it'll
ridiculous.
suck when one of them crashes.
They're not gonna care. They'll just like push him out of the way and just keep going. Thus is the way of the Foot Clan.
Also, let's appreciate that when they're offering cigarettes, they're mentioning menthols and non-menthols.
Regular or menthol?
Oh, it was the 90s, all right. Yes, but yeah, I think the look of it is pretty okay. It's pretty good for, like I said, an indie movie that it is an indie movie, which is it just kind of blows my mind that is a thing with all these like pretty decent sets and of course these fucking actual Jim Henson puppets. Like Splinter was actually pretty good. He was not a man in a suit. He was just a puppet through and through. And I thought, he moved pretty okay. Yeah.
All right, Thorpo.
Sorry for the editing you're gonna have to do around that.
I'm not editing shit.
Yeah, Lolo doesn't edit a damn thing. Just lets some fucking basic shit run and then throws it up.
Look,
All right.
I do normalization.
But fuck, what was I gonna say? What is the last question? That's right. I need to open that up again.
The question we're on is how's
Sorry, I'm too busy looking at these gifs. Oh, they're uncomfortable. Honestly, I thought it looked fine. It was fucking New York. There were sewers too, but they didn't really seem to. Also, once again, going out of New York to stay at this weird house that seems like it's out of some fucking shitty horror movie, and then trashing it, just like they did every other fucking set. Like they habitually trashed sets. It was great. But otherwise, no, I wouldn't really say anything. That's what the puppetry was great. Puppetry was fucking fantastic. Not surprising, but still worth mentioning.
Yes.
That said, they managed to make Casey look like even more of a fucking douchebag than usual, which is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
And April just has like a yellow rain slicker she has on all the time.
Yeah, they had to get that yellow bit in.
So they just gave her this eternal, whatever. My point is, it looks perfectly fine. I have nothing really to say about it, except I will agree that Shredder's place looks sick as hell.
Yeah, I want to go visit that.
I'm too old to go now.
Yes, you're a rotten adult.
Just be the one that supplies
Cigarettes.
yeah.
See, I'm safe because us slimes look eternally young, and I'm forever 17.
Hey guys, you want some Miller Lite?
Oh, Jesus. But yeah, so that's my opinion. I don't really have any strong feelings on the look.
All right. Okay. Yeah. My general thought of it is that if it looks,
God damn it, Lolo!
yeah,
Jesus fucking Christ!
That's fucking horrifying.
It looks like it swallowed E.T.
So I found a specific still of Donatello laughing, and you can see the guy inside laughing too, including all of his teeth. And it looks like his tongue's hanging out as well.
And it
except
looks like
that's
his
the puppets.
it looks like his eyes are separated all the way to the sides. It's
Oh
terrifying.
no!
Uh,
Don't point that out.
God.
Look at it! Look at it! It looks like
It's
his
really
eyes are spread out like Donatello's.
It's really good. I love this
This
thumbnail
is
you've got.
fucking horrifying, and you better make this
It's-
the thumbnail.
The
Oh,
best part is like the roof of the mouth just creates this like shading that just makes it even more terrifying seeing his eyes glitter in the darkness.
It's just a scream of horror inside a laughter of horror.
Come to find out, part of me being a mutant means that you have the fucking damned inside of you.
the darkest of dungeons. There's
Now
my
you will
an-
see the
there's my-
tragic
there's
extent of
my answer
Donatello's
for-
failings.
There's my answer on how this movie looks.
Fucking horrifying.
All
Just
right.
look at the thumbnail, everyone.
Yeah. All right.
I hate this. Now I can't actually. I have to scroll up because I can't see these god awful pictures staring into my soul.
All right. I think yeah. So, Torpo, would this make you more interested in the franchise after watching this?
I would not go ninja, go. Unfortunately, the answer is no.
All right, Stove.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I mean, after now, I don't know, but originally, yeah, I would say I'd watch this, think the turtles are cool, even though they're not, and
Yeah,
go buy some toys, kind of like, you know,
Go
if
buy
I were to
some
watch the
menthol.
cartoon, yeah. Go buy. I really want a cigar now. That would be real nice.
they
So
didn't
I'm
have
very
cigars
interested.
though.
They had cigarettes.
The one kid at the beginning definitely had a cig. That's the biggest fucking cigarette I've ever seen. Then,
Fucking smoking a stogie.
God.
But
But yeah, no, I think that, like, all things considered, I would still be interested in the franchise if I were a kid watching this for the first time. But yeah, that's mission accomplished, I guess, on that one.
yeah, I do need to clarify. If I was still a kid, I would be like, hell yeah, this shit's cool as hell. Let's see a second, and then regret it. Now, me with foreknowledge would say that I would never do it, and if I didn't have foreknowledge, I probably still wouldn't do it. To clarify.
Yeah. So, Carnival.
Again, as a kid, yeah, totally. Now it's like, oh, but
Big oof.
I'd probably still go in just because of like, just out of curiosity of what's else out there. But that's more my taste.
All right, X.
Yeah, I'd be totally down to watch the sequel and other Turtles properties. It's a good fun movie.
Okay. So, I guess I think we have hit the point where I think we need to rank this because I'm just going to be staring at the picture more and more.
It's horrifying.
Okay, so we are going to rank this using our normal 1 to 21 ranking scale with a few other outlier ratings, which I don't think this is going to get applied. But yes, we will be ranking this 1 to 21, which is 1 is absolute mastercraft, very little can be done to improve it. The 21, which is very like watching this is painful. Like it's not even ironically fun to watch. So Axe, what number would you give this film?
To be honest, I'd say somewhere like a 7 or 8.
All right, Carnival.
14. I feel this is perfectly on equal footing as Batman was.
Okay, Stove.
On a personal level, I'd say 8, but kind of like, I think looking at it kind of as what it is, I would say probably around the 11 to 14 range.
Okay. Okay, Torpo.
I'm struggling with my scroll wheel. Give me a second. Oh, this is fucking hard because God, I didn't like Batman, but damn, I really didn't like the Adventures of Lolo the Penguin. This struggle is fucking real here, folks.
There are two numbers that don't have slots, so
Finally, it's time for 69.
I actually, if there might be a case where I'm going to argue for something for 69, that's not this movie.
Oh my. Is
It is not. It's not Cobra. Not that.
Damn.
No, something that's already on this list that I had a thought, and I think actually it might be a good 69 candidate.
what is it?
I think Street Fighter should be a 69.
Huh.
let's first get
Yeah.
Let's rank
get-
this.
Let's get this on the
I'm
table
fucking
first.
struggling.
We've let Torpid off the hook for enough time. What do you got?
No!
Rank it!
My indecision is killing me.
Is it as good as Adventures of Lolo the Penguin? How does it compare to Batman?
I
would put it at a 10. You know what?
10?
Fuck
There
it.
we go.
okay 10.
Because I would watch it over Little Nemo.
Okay, but on the same level as Wizardry and Nickelodeon Guts.
Yeah, I didn't really like Guts, but I didn't really like this either.
All right. So, let's see. That puts us generally, if we're to kind of average that all together, that is somewhere between the 10-11 range. Which honestly is kind of where, like, honestly, I would probably, like, in my case, I would probably put it above Batman.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I was thinking. It was more the Batman thing was just like that was where it was. I was just thinking between the two, it would be a toss up of which I would rather watch on a given day.
because the thing is, like, I actually would be fine. Like, I feel like for me, 9 is the ceiling. Like, I would definitely not put this above 9. Um,
Yeah.
like, I would think 10 is probably, like, if you told me between, like, that being said, I still believe it is better than, say, like, I would honestly even say it's better than, like as I said, Batman and Salamander. So I do believe that I would say I would not put it lower than Batman. So somewhere between 10 and 14.
That
Um,
feels good to
which
me.
I would kind of almost bump it up to, like, then 10 to, like, maybe 13 or 12. Which unfortunately at that point, I need to dip into the games category to kind of give us a comparison of a thing that is like 12. Like in a game comparison is like the original R Type, or say the original Gradius, like kind of slightly below average, or like Castlevania 2 or Codename Viper. Um, but but also on the same time, I could honestly see putting it at the same level as Little Nemo or Adventure of Lolo, the Penguin. Um, like I know that we shouldn't be doing this, but I do actually kind of feel like this could be a good candidate for our first 12 or 13.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I feel like I think 12 is probably a better
I
spot to
would
put it.
I would be on the fence of, or I would be on the side of putting it higher. I would say 12, I think, is a good spot for this.
Yeah.
Adequate with caveats, which means basically it's fine as long as you don't look directly into the turtle's mouth.
Yes. Enjoy, like, adequate. Yeah.
I'll say it's a guilty pleasure just to kind of like, because yeah, I definitely understand it being higher, wanting it to be higher, but like, I don't know. I think 12 is pretty good for what it is.
Yeah, I would also agree with, like, adequate with caveats is something that I could definitely say, because, like, don't get me wrong. Also, the fact that it's 12, it's not saying that it's a bad movie. It's just it's some that if you're going into it, like, you might have issues with it. That's amazing. You could also enjoy it, which clearly some people did.
Yeah, like I would say we don't start getting into bad till like 17.
I would say, like, yeah, like, I would even say 18 is the spot where it actually, like, 17s are just kind of sometimes old.
18.
Mediocrity.
18, which is It Fights Back. At which point these pieces of media are actively daunting without quality to earn it. So yeah, I definitely say that 12 would be fine with this. So yeah, it might not be for everyone, though. It's definitely not. You definitely. I'm not saying that you definitely won't enjoy it, but there are. It has aged a bit. So Ninja Turtle.
Damn.
This was
Damn.
episode 37. Yes, 37, 1990. Directed by Steve Barron. This was theatrically released. It made an utter butt ton of money. If you were
Oh
not
yeah, no.
surprised.
This was like a top gross seller until like what was it we looked up that knocked it out the box?
This was the highest grossing indie movie up until the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. So
Almost 10 years.
Huh. I mean, this is a hero movie.
yeah, this is a hero movie.
Especially in the UK. So let's see. Is there anything we want to call out in music, charm, cinematography, storytelling / characters, action, and art?
Where do we put the puppets? I think that's art.
That'd be art.
Art. I know what charm I want to put in for art.
Is it a screaming person?
It might be actually. It might be this face right here.
No, it would only be accurate if there was another face inside of the mouth.
I can't do that. Timoshi is thankfully smart enough not to let me do that. All right. Is there anything anyone else wants to call out? There is actually something that I do want to call out. Is that some music? I want to give it a thumbs down because it doesn't use the actual theme.
I
It
know.
doesn't really use anything. Honest.
Also, the music I didn't really care for either.
It doesn't really use anything. The only music I can really remember is just at Shredder's place.
Yeah. Also, I do want to call out that I do think the action in this movie is generally pretty good.
Yeah, I was actually gonna mention that. Is the action was actually pretty all right. It was so all right that people complained.
Yep.
And
You
that
think-
though, I wouldn't really argue anything.
Yeah. Do we want to maybe argue Campy Charm?
No, there's no campy charm.
There's
Okay.
campy charm.
I do.
I
there's
disagree.
campy charm.
There's campy
I
charm.
There's campy charm.
100% disagree. Campy charm requires it to be charming.
Maybe not. Okay, maybe not Campy Charm. There is a weird goofiness to it that you could kind of like. The puppet, for example, might be a thing to watch. As I looked at the larger screenshot that I had on his mouth.
Also, once again, in various shots, they had rubber weapons that got caught on all kinds of things.
Stupid, goofy things like that are definitely charming.
Maybe not Campy Charm.
That's more like coming from Jank, though.
Yeah, I
Campy
wonder if
charming.
maybe I wonder if maybe we should have a charm for Jank, like enjoyable Jank, which I
Yeah.
think I actually might do. I might already have one.
Like, all things
I'm
considered,
sorry
I
to
do,
tell you this, but this channel was tainted to begin with.
I do kind of like something that is like lasting to me is still nobody knows how to play cricket. You got to know what a crumpet is to play cricket. Like that kind of thing is charming to me anyway.
Yeah.
Or the gay joke that they hide in there with Casey when they tell him that he's claustrophobic.
Claustrophobic. Never even looked at a man.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It
Completely didn't even pick that up. Just
Yeah, maybe it's for the best.
Yeah, I
I,
feel
don't know,
there's
I didn't find it charming personally, but
maybe like I do feel like we should put something for humorous Jank.
I feel like that'd be a yay.
Yeah, like, but I don't know. Like, wait, is there a rubber chicken emoji?
Yes, please, it has to be that.
What is
Now, if only there was
Why-
an emoji for a rubber chicken with a pulley in it.
Let's see. The baby chick. There is not a rubber chicken. There is, maybe a clown, or is there? Let's see. Is there a thing for Okay, there's a spool of string maybe for like visible wires, but I'm just gonna put clown.
Clown.
There. yeah, other than that, the one thing I do want to call out for yay or nay, I do want to, because we brought it up, pacing is slightly off. Oh, that's not the right pace feels too sluggish, which I guess is going to have to make do. That is not the right list. This is the right list. Nope, don't want to say that because the length's actually a decent amount. Okay, I think that's probably good for this movie. So yes. Yeah. So I guess with that, that'll do it for us ranking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 1990 film. Yes. So with that, before we head out, Axe, is there anything you want to plug?
Just my stream, twitch.tv/axeimmortal.
Okay, Carnival.
You can follow me on Twitch. I mean, not Twitch, Twitter at Toko_Carnival, and I'd like to plug the gaping voids in the suit's mouse.
Yeah.
Gross.
Stove.
You can follow me at twitch.tv/portablestove, where I will be thinking about this horror for ages to come.
Torpo.
Twitch.tv/torpid typist, White Whale Holy Grail, and at torpid typist on Twitter. And I would like to plug Carnival for stealing my fucking bit.
Success.
All right, so that'll do it for this episode. So next week, is scheduled to be Chariots of Fire, though we'll see about that. It is a movie. It is a movie that has won a lot of awards. It is a very highly respected film, which means it's probably going to be slightly boring, but that doesn't necessarily mean they'll be bad. But
Fuck respect.
because it is also it's weird because I originally planned that we were going to do this back in January. Things happened that has prevented the reason why we're doing that film from happening in the first place. So I might actually hold out until we actually do it, even though I am still planning on doing stuff for Radiant Rhapsody, Retro Rank Rhapsody, regarding the Olympics. So we shall see. We might do Stargate instead.
Hell yeah, Stargate's
Mystery.
Tune in and you'll find out what exactly we're doing. Might be something completely different. Who knows?
Please.
So yes, that'll do it for this movie. Thank you all for listening. If you would like to look at the full list of rankings for yourself, please visit r3.ldp.life and go to the Media Delta List tab. If you would like to watch Media Delta's sister show, Retro Rank Rhapsody, you can either watch at youtube.ldp.life or by tuning into twitch.tv/LoadedPuzzlo at 7:30 p.m. on Fridays, 2:30 p.m. on Saturdays, and 1 p.m. on Sundays. All those times are from the Eastern U.S. time zone. If you would like to discuss this episode with the community, you can do so by joining our Discord server, which you can do so by going to discord.ldp.life. Thank you again for listening, and I hope you tune in for our next episode.